In this video, I'm going to teach you guys exactly what you need to know when you're getting third-partied in a fight and you need to get a quick kill. I'm going to walk you through Mr. Savage's gameplay and show you exactly how he deals with third parties in almost every situation possible, because there's going to be a bunch of examples here. If you guys don't understand these rapid fire tips that I'm about to mention in this video, then it's going to be a complete recap at the end, so don't forget to watch that. 78% of people that watch my YouTube videos are not subscribed to my channel, so if you guys can hit that like button and the sub button for the one time, I would greatly appreciate it. As you can see here, Savage is creating a box for himself and almost creating this arena so that there's no possible chance that he's going to get third partied, and if he does, he built out a hard mat, so the chances of people actually shooting that is pretty low. And since he has these surrounding walls, it makes it a little easier for him to navigate through and take protected peek shots. You can see here how he's trying to box fight this guy on the opposite side of the third party. This guy was getting shot in the back, so he tries to go on the other side of him. That way the guy who's third partying doesn't see an angle on Savage. This is something that's really important whenever you're getting third party. You have to make sure that you're not the center of attention and let the guy that you're fighting be that person, because if they're the center of attention, it's almost like a free kill for you. He also knows that this guy is far away and that even though he gets hit here, he just builds a couple walls and goes on with fighting this person. You can see here how he does this thing again where he goes on the opposite side of the third party, so even if they're in a box fight and things get crazy, this guy's going to be the center of attention. As he gets third partied here, he tries to make the third partier not motivated so that he could place a wall down the second he drops down on this guy's wall and try and get a nice clean box fight. Even if it's a small arena, creating any sort of box at a hard mats to help the third parties stop what they're doing is really important. Just keep in mind that you need to do these things quick, because if you wait too long, the guy you're actually box fighting might take advantage of that and take a peek shot on you. One thing that occurs a lot no matter where you are in the box fight, once you get the kill, it's really important to build out of that box and go into your own box if you're W key. Every time a pro gets a kill, they always get out of the box if the walls aren't theirs. The safest thing to do is box down in the direction that you're getting third partied so that the people who might third party you don't, because there's so many layers between the walls and you. As you can see here, he even is fighting this guy in the opposite side of the third party. Even though he does do this bounce pad trick, he knows that he's going to get inside the guy's box really quickly and he's going to get 2 quick shots on this guy and kill him. Whenever you're getting third partied while someone is literally inside your box, and you have to kill the guy really quickly and get that wall out to stop the pressure being put on you. Easier said than done, but you have to be really quick regardless. He built out again to make sure that the third partier is discouraged from shooting at his wall. If you don't want to get third partied, try and fight people in areas that are kind of hard to shoot from. If you notice he's surrounded by trees, he puts up a couple metal walls and then continues to box fight this guy and exploit in and get a quick kill. I think something people struggle with is trying to box fight people in the wide open when there's a lot of people around them trying to look for a kill themselves. Bonus tip right here is to always go on the outside of the zone whenever you're trying to flank in on the left or right side. That way it's harder for people to see you, and if you move in and out really quickly, you won't take any zone damage. Savage kind of went in the zone a little too much and took a little bit of damage, but usually this doesn't happen. It's better to take a little zone damage than take a couple shots to the head with an AR. This just makes it hard for people to see you and harder for people to shoot you through the zone. It also makes you less of a target. This fight does get a little sweaty, but as you can see, sometimes it really doesn't take a lot in order to stop a third party. Sometimes a little bit of protection is just as good, and sometimes that's all you really need. You can see here Savage just puts up a couple walls and then goes into the box fight. Really good underrated tip that he does right here is pulls out his pickaxe and switches back to his shotgun really quick, so it fakes the guy in thinking that he's going to take his wall with his pickaxe out. Little does he know he gets a nice clean shot on him. Sounds simple, but once again, it's something that not a lot of people do. As you see here, he had the edit opportunity. If he wanted to and full send it, he could have just opened it up. Instead, he did a really nice play where he waited to hold the edit and went behind the wall to get right hand peek. That way that guy had no chance to shoot him. Also keep in mind, once the third party came in, he didn't want any part of that. None of those walls were his, and it was going to be really hard for him to leave that box, so he was pretty much cornered. He threw down that bounce pad and reset the fight to get a better advantage. This is FNCS, and even though there's third partiers everywhere, he was just getting shot at as he landed. The second he gets up in a little bit of elevation, he creates an entire new box for himself, and then he has a nice box fight opportunity. Doing this every time you get into a situation like this is going to be really helpful because it discourages other people from shooting at you, especially when you build out a hard mat. Then it's as simple as killing the guy, whether you do a peek shot or something else. If you guys are looking for a protected peek shot video that all the pros really use, there's going to be a link to the top right hand corner of your screen that's going to take you to that video. I'd recommend watching this whole video through because these kind of go hand in hand. You can even see here as this guy leaves the box that he's shooting upwards and not really going so much around, but the second he does, he boxes up around the wall. I noticed while a lot of pros are in the air, they box up around the wall that they're going to take, especially in FNCS where there's third parties everywhere. Doing this quickly the second you jump onto that wall probably is going to discourage the guy looking far away at shooting at you. You just have to be really careful though, because if you're not skilled enough yet and you try and pull this off and you do it slow, the guy inside the box is going to know what's going on and try and shoot you. As you're rolling up on fights like this, it's really important to just constantly look around and see who's going to be third partying you, so you kind of get a general idea of the direction it might be coming from. If I was Savage in this position, I probably would have placed a couple walls before I actually got into that fight, so that way I didn't take that damage in the beginning. It's really important to play angles whenever you're seeing someone getting third party, so that way you're not going to be in front of that. As you can see here, he kind of goes around the opposite side to try and get a different angle on where that third party might be looking. But at the same time, he's definitely going for this kill. The fight's kind of getting a little awkward at this point, but as he's coming back up the ramp, you can see how he's placing walls behind him so that people aren't going to beam him as he's going up these stairs. He doesn't need to spam these walls, but placing them a little bit as he's going up is definitely going to stop people from shooting at him. As he gets shot here though, he does place another wall, and the more walls you place, as long as you're not spamming and looking like you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be pretty much good for the fight. He has this cone above the wall that he edits, so there's literally no direction where he can get third party from. Doing stuff like this is really important, especially as you get into more complicated games. He pretty much has walls all around him. Always trying to attack people from the bottom is definitely going to discourage any third partier from shooting at you, since they can't even see you. It's going to be a lot more difficult to get shot at from the bottom, especially when you're going up through old builds, rather than the guy who's sitting in the box spraying at the bottom of his floor. If you're someone who's far away, you're definitely going to try and shoot at that. That's why Savage is in a really good spot right now. This fight right here is a really good example of how other people are pressuring the guy that Savage is looking to kill. He's keeping his distance, at the same time he's looking to get up close and personal, but not be the one that's in focus. This is something that, if you think about it, happens a lot throughout every single game that's played. You have to be the one to really protect yourself whenever you're box fighting someone that's getting third party. You can't be in the box with him too much, because then it causes you both to be the center of attention. You kind of have to go in at the right moment and kill him really quickly. As you can see here, the second that this guy snuck away, this kill suddenly got a lot harder to get. Keep in mind that he's doing tips like I said before, where he's attacking from the bottom and building around the wall that he's trying to take. Savage is really so smart about this, and he just knows that he has to go in there right away the second he boxes up around that, because since the walls are weak, he knows that he's prone to a third party. Always try and make it a general rule that if you're in a fight and you're trying to stop someone from third partying you, just try and build really quickly like Mr. Savage does right here, and then continue to go back to fighting your guy. This move is kind of situational and really risky, but sometimes it works, and this is something that you definitely need to be aware of. A lot of times when I'm getting third partied, I really want to make sure I don't get shot, so I build a quick wall and attend back to the guy that I'm versing and try and do my best to maintain both at the same time. Multitasking is kind of difficult in Fortnite, but stuff like this is really important to learn and know. As you can see here, he never gets too greedy, and what he does is he focuses on a guy that he's trying to kill, and he gets this RPG play where he gets a tag on him. He's trying to W key everyone possible, but he realizes that this kill is not worth it because he's gonna get griefed himself. Sometimes this is the right play to make, and for right here, this was definitely the play. So what he does is he finds an alternative route to not get third party while he fights the guy below him. This is something I could definitely see a lot of people doing, and it's just being too greedy when they know that the guy might be weak or not that good. Sometimes you need to let that kill go and go fight someone else. Here's a perfect example of Mr. Savage going through the bottom portion of someone's box to take them off guard while they're getting third party. This is something that puts all the pressure on the guy inside the box, and he just comes up and gets a quick kill. You can also use third parties to your advantage just like he does. What really helps getting used to third parties is learning how to fight two people at once. As you can see, Savage is kind of doing that right here. The second he comes around and boxes up on this guy's wall, he gets edited on. He's a little taken off guard, but I bet he's seen this before, stayed calm and got the kill. But there was a lot of people around him and he was aware, and since he was aware, he was able to fight the next guy relatively easy because he knew where he was coming from. This is the stuff that I was talking about when you're trying to multitask. If anyone ever struggles with being nervous, constantly being pressured by two people at once will definitely help that situation if you do it for a long period of time. Eventually you just become used to it. I'm gonna recap some of the most important parts of this video right now. Number 1, do your best to not be the center of attention. Number 2, build around the walls that you want to take when you drop down on that player's box. Number 3, try and create a little arena for yourself at a hard mat so that it discourages third partiers from looking at you. Number 4, try to go underneath the enemy and underneath builds as much as you can so that way it discourages other people from looking at you, since you're going to be kind of hidden. It's also going to take the guy who's fighting you off guard if they're getting third party to begin with. Number 5, depending on the situation, just try and keep your distance and understand who's shooting at who, so that way you can kind of get a good idea about how to third party this guy that you're about to kill. Being patient in certain situations while spraying at the guy who's really getting focused is sometimes the best thing to do. Then you can go in for the kill if you need to, if you get close enough. Just make sure you make it quick. A bonus tip is to subscribe to Ken Beans on YouTube, because if you do that, you automatically are going to win the next box fight you're in, whether you're getting third partied or 4 partied or 5 partied or 6 partied. I got more content like this coming soon, so if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button and hit the sub button for the one time. Don't forget that if you guys want to ask me any other further questions, feel free to come through on my Twitch chat, link below, or even in the Discord where you guys can ask me any question you would like, with PC related questions and Fortnite related questions as a text chat. I try and help everyone who comes through on my streams as much as possible, so really if you guys have any questions, feel free to stop by. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a good night. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Deuces. Peace.